Greetings, it is Yuga, voice of the dragons. And as I was in communion with one of my draconic teachers, now this wasn't my dragon guardian, this was a dragon guide that I haven't talked with in many, many years. And as we were in communion, I was able to finally perceive the nature as to what was happening, as to how we were able to communicate, and why it's possible for us to receive messages from them. Now, this is going to go through a multifaceted train of thought, and as you progress through the draconic path, things will change. But if you're just starting out, this is generally a rule of thumb of what your experience will be like. And this is also, for me, most of my experience with them. So, just for frame of reference, I've always wondered if a dragon was always able to manifest its spirit next to you. If it was like physically there, it would be there with you, but it's only there in a non-material sense, but in an otherworldly sense, like an apparition or a ghost. We'll just say a dragon ghost next to you. Is there a dragon ghost next to you, or is there a dragon, let's just also say, far off in another realm meditating and projecting consciously itself out towards you and speaking through its consciousness and through telepathic means and ways? And it turns out it's a little bit of both, more so on the second option though. So as I was wondering what was happening, my teacher was finally able to express to me, like I said, the nature of our conversation. And he showed me that, let's just say a dragon will be meditating and they will speak in some words of power in their tongue. And this power will open a portal. It'll be about this size, and they'll be able to peer through it, and it will be next to you, directly looking at you in a third person perspective, and they will be able to express their thoughts and words through this portal to you. And just keep in mind that dragons are creatures that exist in between thoughts in this realm, and that's strictly from the rules of the elders of the Dragon Council. For reasons I don't fully understand, dragons are not allowed to materialize into our realm. If they do, it's an offhand chance and occasion, and if they are able to, they're more than likely a dragon god. Now, I've seen people on the Draconic path express that they feel they have about a dozen dragons near them at any given moment, and I just don't know if that is the case. I've always wondered if I've had a dragon next to me, and there are a few occasions where that has happened, but for the most part, this is how dragons will be communicating with you. Now, when you are doing an evocation or invocation and you wish for them to appear more formally to you in a spiritual sense, then doing the proper spell work and opening a gate to the Draconic realm is very possible and doable. Now, if you're curious as to what realm the dragons call their home, I was informed that it's called Draconia. But I digress. Now, another thing to keep in mind when communicating with a dragon, and as I stated, they are creatures that exist in between thoughts. As you are in conversation with them, you may unknowingly be in their presence. And once you're able to understand when they're speaking to you, you'll be able to understand their thoughts in a more verbal sense, telepathically speaking, where you are clearly able to hear those words. But there are occasions where things that are audible or visibly near you will be used as a transmission between you and the dragon. It's really hard to catch, and you have to really train yourself to understand what they're saying. But as I've worked with them, I've heard many things, and many things come from many things. And it's just been interesting, the relationship and the capabilities they have to manipulate our reality for us to understand them. And another thing I wanted to touch upon, as you work and communicate with dragons, you will start to become activating your DNA. And once you go through DNA activation, it's very important to keep yourself grounded and balanced. And there's only one passage I've seen talk about genetic inheritance that partially comes from your bloodline, but also comes from if you were born and chosen to be given gifts of psychic nature. So, in the one passage I found, unfortunately, I don't have it anymore because it was on the cloud and it just ended up getting lost in between phones. But it talked about three different tiers of dragon workings and how it's labeled and kind of the experience that you'll go through. So the first tier would be known as a dragon rider. A dragon rider has only so much capability of working with and understanding dragons. A dragon priest or dragon shaman would be the second tier, and they're able to perform and conduct things on behalf of the dragons. And being able to do spell work and ritual work with them, as I am a draconic high priest, it's a little bit more different because you're directly working under them, as where you would be a dragon rider, and you'd be more learning and going through a growth period. So with the second tier, you're more developed and affirmed in your draconic path, and the abilities that come with it, I can't label off the top of my head because there wasn't much to go off of. But just for frame of reference, this is the structure that I was given. I'm sure there's more behind it, and I'm sure people are going through different experiences. But the last and final tier was called the Dragon Lord. And that's where it's supposedly said when you are, once you fully become a Dragon Lord, your lifespan will be extended and prolonged significantly. I'm only 28, so we'll see if I get there. But I feel like I look pretty good. I look young, and I feel pretty healthy. I mean, I take care of myself. I do the things that I need to. But this is what I'm looking forward to, and this is what I hope I get to experience. But I'll go ahead and end the video here. I think I said everything I wanted to say in regards to this topic. But this happens to be posted on the winter solstice in Yule. So this is December 21st, 2022. So if you celebrate, happy Yule, happy winter solstice. And if you come across this, trying to work with dragons more, then feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'll have my link tree in the description. I have more dragon related content posted on TikTok. I'm more consistent on TikTok than anything else. So if you are really interested in finding more about me and what happens behind the dragon mask, then this is the place to be. So we'll catch you later though. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. Bye.